folks. We have returned here for episode 63, which, unlike the last few championships, will not have any qualification racing as previously mentioned, as the 20-car grid for that has already been set. Actually, it was set like a week ago, so it was set even before episode 62 went down, because registration took place the Saturday after episode 61, and we had exactly 20 people sign up. Probably because the 21st person who showed up saw that there were already 20 and was just like, nah, I'll do the next one. So, yeah. None of that, qualifying malarkey, just racing. And, well, we have some of that, obviously. We have quite a few new recruits going into this race. We have 5 who registered over the weekend. And we also have some new cars for familiar faces as well. So this will be an interesting expository, is that a word? Expositional? Expository? Expose? I think those are all words that kind of mean the same thing. Anyway, but information will be revealed. Yes, that is how, media tends to work, Riker. Let's just, start that. Hey, ladies and... Okay, we are here ahead of race. Pause, thank you, button. I kept missing it twice. We're here ahead of race 1 because, conveniently, we have 5 debuting drivers, and 4 of them are in this race. Before we get to that, the onboard car for this race is Simon Nash in his WRX Impreza. As we look a little bit further up the grid, we will see, eventually, I believe this is a redesign on Amy Shaughnessy's car. Not a new driver. There's the first one. There's the second one. Third one. Fourth one. Yeah, so 4 new drivers and also apparently a new livery. Start with the middle 2 because the other 2, as you can tell by their last names, are related. Oh my god. My stomach is very not working. So first we have Isabel Aspinall, a V8 Supercars driver who's been sort of defiled by her former team owner and decided, you know what, fine, I'm just gonna commit to a racing in a smaller series because the V8 Supercars is just, like, they're just too good for me, I guess, I don't know. She won a race. She was the first female driver in 6 years to enter the Bathurst 1000, and she gets fired by her team boss for the 1 day out of each month that she spends doing modeling photo shoots because she does swimsuit modeling as her first career, and didn't think she'd have to give that up to do motorsports. Speaking of modeling, we have another one on the board, Riho Futaba, which every time I read it, I just think of Rio, like her name is Rio, but no, there's an H there, Riho. That's not any better when you think about it. Anyway, she is basically a crowd pleaser. Anything that she can do to entertain people, she's willing, and apparently this extends to driving a heavily modified pickup truck and racing around the world, entertaining racing fans like the ones over there. Interesting that you can even see over the steering wheel since she's 5'1", but here we are. And then we have the Tsubaki sisters, Aya and Saki. And apparently their whole thing is they had a pretty almost lethal sibling rivalry going on for most of their teenage years, if not all of them. But over time they eventually stopped hating each other, and now they're here trying to do some sisterly bonding, I think is what they were referring to, or how they worded it. Saki is the more low-profile one, who is like super conscious about what she's wearing, or how much she's wearing, I should say, or what she's doing. And she decides to choose a BMW M4. Meanwhile, her older sister Aya is the crazy one. Well, not crazy like, how do I say this? She's not like medically crazy, but she's more out there, she's more outlandish, she's more show-offy. And she's not at all conscious of how much or what she's wearing. And so she opts for the brashness of an American muscle car like this Camaro. So with all of that said and done and established, let us actually do the racing thing. Already, Nash has made one overtake as Kameji really didn't get a good start. Nash has an aggressive driving style, so I expect him to be able to make up many places through this middle sector, spanning from like turn 4 all the way up to the hairpin here. He hasn't made as many as I thought he would, but he's looking for one on Colin Morris here, and he will get it. That was an interesting shot. Colin Morris is fighting back, trying to get back into position. He will fail, and she will secure P16. I said she because I was looking at Soccer here. No, Simon's definitely a guy. He wants to be the guy. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you can tell I haven't commentated in a couple of days. I will just do first indication. Now he's starting to pick them off a little bit quicker. Taro Katano appears to have some damage. If I can find him on the leaderboard, there we go. Ah! Oh, he got into turn 1. Oh, he gets just smacked by Riho. And she has no damage because she's in a big truck. I don't think he'll like that one. There's some aggressive braking from Nash. And the better corner exit will get him ahead of Nitori. And now he has to pass another admin, because I'm right ahead of there. But we're going into a section where I'm probably not going to be able to match up to a Subaru. And yeah. He crosses over, or tries to on Futaba, but cannot. He'll try the outside, but he's apparently underestimated just how well that truck can corner. Which, it's not that well, it's not bad either. Now he's too wide with the Tundra and gets ahead. And passes fellow Subaru driver in the form of my dad. Axel Valentine is all the way off the racing line. He will take advantage of that, and he's now into the top 1/3. And looking for more against Aspinall and the Mustang there. Tries the outside, but I believe got squeezed out a bit there. In the world of V8 supercars, you have to learn a bit of defensive driving, and I'm sure Isabel has that in spades. Door-to-door on exit, Nash gets into 5th place just as quickly. And And now he's got some ways to go, as right now at the moment, Dom DePrisco just out-dragged Thrasher to take away the race lead. Thrasher tries to come back at him down into turn 1, and sneaks his fender up to the inside, but the Countach's acceleration is too much for him to handle. Speaking of acceleration, Nash will get ahead of my mom under acceleration. Thrasher's able to get awfully close to him in the corners, but he's not able to make anything work. He's able to get right up to his bumper, but he doesn't have the speed to try and actually make a pass stick, and now here comes Nash to join this party, make it a 3-car battle, more or less. Nash will try the outside again. He's tried to make the outside work a few times in this race. Actually, he's just trying to direct the corner like a normal person would. Gets a better exit than Thrasher. Can he pull ahead, or will he run out of horsepower? Looks like he will not be running out of horsepower, but Thrasher is gonna move to get some slipstream, but even that's not gonna help enough. Now we have just one more lap remaining. Thrasher sends it into 1, just like he did on Dom, but Nash is not fooled. Well, we see 2 Ford enjoyers, even though Axel's in a Pantera, they just battled through there. What an odd train of cars. Porsche and a Subaru makes sense, followed by a Tundra, an electric Porsche, a GTO, and another GTO. There's been a battle here, I'm pretty sure. And I've just been like missing it, looking around the field. Yeah, there is. So Nash got alongside Dominic, heading out of turn 4/5. Heading into the hairpin here, he sneaks his Subaru down the inside of the Lambo. Doesn't have enough power on exit, or does he? No, he doesn't. Countach remains in the lead through there, but now we come to these slower corners where the Subaru will have a notable advantage over Countach. If he can get alongside DePrisco, I think it's over, essentially. He's trying the outside again. It's not working. Dom's car is just light enough to take these corners as well as he can. And now we're going to head on to the front straightaway, where the Countach is going to have an obvious advantage. And Nash never even got ahead of Dom at all. So with that straight line advantage in hand, Dominic DePrisco is going to cross the finish line in first here at Fuji. Nash just a couple tenths off, and Thrasher will finish amongst them on the podium. And a 3-4 finish for Black Stallion as Axel comes home in P4. Quite a day for Aspinall as well, who finishes in, that would be P6, despite starting the race in, I think, P10 or 11. So, and Aya held her own, sitting 7th. Riho, not amazing, went from, I think, like 8th to 10th or something. All 4 of the rookie drivers kind of just, like, stayed where they started, really. So, I mean, I guess that means not a joke. If you can at least hold your own against the people who have been here for a while, that means that you have some chance. Isabelle obviously did a bit more than that. And we move on to round 2 of the episode. Race 2 of the episode is away. We head to Lego Major. Yep, just a track made of Legos. Yep, we're Lego racers now. Anyway, Lago Major, or Major Lake, whatever the case. As 720 class racing on offer here. And we're on board with Barbara Page and her C8 Corvette. Speaking of Corvette, I remember this being in my commentary notes. Riley Blanchard just chokes the lead away, failing to slow down and brake, or slow down and turn in for that hairpin. Page is already up 2 spots, looking for a third on Rebecca Briggs. Gets to the outside of the Camaro and sticks that move about as well as you can stick it anywhere. She gets a bit unstable as she has to check up for Kogasa, who took the S's very conservatively for no reason. Bit wide at the, what I lovingly call the Dover turn. I say lovingly despite the fact that I hate Dover. And Riley apparently has damage. Oh yeah, that's a thing. I forgot about this. Dom DePrisco is debuting a new vehicle. He has a new Aventador. And it's not treating him the best, as we can see here. He manages to save the car from damage, but he rejoins the circuit into the front of Riley. And that apparently knocks her suspension out or something. Oh, we also have Francesca Fidanzi debuting an F430. So yeah, a couple debuting cars, but no debuting driver in this one. I mean, back to the original time. Another time. Barbara is using all of the curbs known to man. Yeah, more curbs. Stays off those though, curiously. Pulls aside and just screeches ahead of Alice Carson. Goes ahead of Valentine like he's not moving, which the way he took that corner, he might as well have not been. Down the inside of Scarborough through the S's, where it's usually hard to make a pass, but she didn't have a problem here. Well, I think they just traded paint a bit there. Synchronized wheelies, and oh, Francesca is way out of control. Manages to at least keep the F430 from hitting anything on the way, saving her family and team some repair dollars, which I'm sure the old man is going to be ecstatic about. Did she even lose any places? Yeah, she got passed by Eric and Valentine. But still, a wipeout like that, only losing 2 places, no car damage. What does Eric see here? This ought to be an interesting viewpoint. slides just alongside the wall and just behind Thrasher to avoid dealing damage to her F430. That is, well, I mean, if you're going to be out of control, that's about as in control as you can get. It is a Porsche 1-2 at the moment. Billy Stuber leading Stephanie Kaiser. With Mika Harris knocking on Stephanie's door. And now Barbara Page is approaching as well. So this time we might have a 4-car battle for the win here at Lago Maggiore. If things line up how I hope they do. Yeah, Barbara's going to be there shortly. Probably at the end of the exit of the S's if she drives well enough. Stephanie is right there on the tail of the Porsche. Other Porsche. Anyway. We got Germany versus America here heading through the S's. 2 Porsches, Mustang, and a Corvette. And then a Lambo some 3 seconds away. Barbara tries to sneak around Mika on the outside. She gives Barbara the lane, but Barbara can't take it well enough. Gets her on the exit of the S's though. And she gets blocked off by Stephanie heading down the hill. Everyone obedient into the hairpin. Dom also taking it fine. Mika a little bit unstable on corner exit though, which gives Barbara some breathing room as she sends it to the inside of Stephanie. Hooks some curb, but is ultimately fine. Oh, that's a big door smack right there from Stephanie, but Barbara hangs on steadfast and moves to second. And Barbara dummies the move on the inside of the last turn, but that's just because she's working on a better exit than the Cayman gets. And she may have the lead heading across the start-finish. Yes. The new race leader, just as we begin the final lap, Stuber shoots around the outside. Oh my god. It's an all-German podium at the moment, here in Italy, followed by a Russian and then an actual Italian, some 5 seconds away. Barbara is taking every possible angle she can get to try and overtake the Cayman, and I think she's found a good one there. And now she's back into the race lead, finally. I think Billy got caught a bit oversteering going through there, and Stephanie is there to take full advantage. Now we've got a Porsche battle while the Corvette drives away. And Stephanie is going to overtake her fellow Porsche driver. She finds P2. And Mika is also back in the fray. Let's see if she has anything to say about this. She will have the top speed advantage over all 3 of these cars, but she's only really close enough to Billy for that to make a difference at the moment. And a difference it will make, she's on the inside, which is Billy overruns a little bit wide, and that gives Mika third. So his confidence in his steering has cost him a little bit, and he is now out of the top 3. And Barbara, for all intents and purposes, is free. And through the last turn, the German driver, American car, Italian racetrack, Barbara Page will snag victory at Lago Maggiore over Stephanie Kaiser and Mika Harris. Dom, despite nearly wrecking the car, manages P5, and Francesca recovers from a nearly race-ending spin to grab a top 10 right behind her teammate. So that was an exciting round 2. Maybe Mitri is onto something when she says the 720 category is the best one in the series. Personally, I say it's 680. And the Thrasher doesn't really seem to have an opinion, but... well, suffice to say that 720 and 680 have been putting up some close racing lately. As our balancing equipment gets better, the drivers get more used to their vehicles and to each other. It's only going to go up from here, theoretically. And now we will go up to round 3 of the episode. Race 3 of the episode comes to us from a very foggy Watkins Glen, that's the word. Forgot the word fog. Great. Great English comprehension, Raker. We are on board with Yuval Kawakuta as we make our way up the S's in the 760 class event. So this is going to be a pretty quick 4 laps here at the Glen, even if it is the full layout and not the short one. This race will still be over in about 7 minutes, as there we just saw Riese pack it into the back of Carly Watts. So now they've both got some aero damage to work with. Whoa, still well a bit lost there, are we? Some GTR and GTR violence, but Kawakuta manages to hold control. Reaches ahead of one Porsche down the inside of the other, but can't make anything happen as Schwartz is already busy trying to pass somebody else. The first of the 2 new cars of the race, we have a new Nissan GTR represented by Amy Shaughnessy. I think a bit further ahead is the 2017 Ford GT is driven by Mika Harris. Apparently, Pacific Spirit, after dealing with the threat of Natasha Harris, has decided to upgrade their fleet to, I believe now it's a staggering 10 vehicles. And we also have a debuting driver here. The 5th of the new recruits, Tomas Pager. Just pause for a moment. He is a former, I say former, like... he stopped doing it, but he still did it. Basically the modern Evel Knievel. He is most known for his time doing like motorcycle stunts, like jumping over things like buses and canyons and one of the crumbling pillars of the Parthenon. It's a lot. And then he moved on to rally. Decided that wasn't really his style, so now he's trying circuit racing in an AMG GTR. And he is like a worldwide icon, so a lot of people were shocked that he even decided to join a fledgling series like the Challenge Series, and that's something that would give him worldwide attention. Challenge Series is a worldwide series, but this certainly is no NASCAR or Formula 1 or like World Endurance Championship by any means. Oh, and Brian Ice has a Murcielago. Forgot about that too. So yeah, Pacific Spirit debuting 3 brand new vehicles today. As saves it, Kawakuta nearly gets Corvetted and sounds the horn to announce his displeasure of Blanchard's just general lack of awareness. Ice is apparently skating, but he does keep the car on the road for the most part. Parker moves under braking and nearly smacks into Kawakuta there. Do people see his car here? Like, does he exist at all? Apparently fucking not. Hello, Johnny Parker, are you awake in that Corvette? Yeah, I'd be giving him a little shove too. That was pretty fucking stupid, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, another new car. Thrasher has gone from a Mustang Stallion to a prancing horse. Apparently, he won a pink slip race against a former driver of ours. I refuse to even speak their name. Won a pink slip race the other night and got her F50. Which, I couldn't be happier because that means that the driver has to leave, but the car doesn't. The car belongs here, the owner didn't. Kawakuta to be outside of Paige, who also apparently doesn't fucking see him, and that's a collision. Normally she's really cautious and conservative, so it surprises me that Barbara makes a slip up like that. Honestly, wasn't it even her fault? Not really. She's turning right here. What's Kawakuta doing? Can't tell. Hang on. Does he try to thread the needle here? Yeah, he does. Also, numbnuts, it helps you save the car if you slow down. Yeah, no, Barbara didn't really do anything here. He turned across her and absolutely paid the price. I'm surprised that Nissan's still running after that, because that's like 130 something miles an hour straight to a guardrail. How fast was it actually? About 110, face first. And he drives off like not much really just happened of note. No damage on Barbara's Corvette. She did lose the place to Harris though. Oh boy. Kawakuta's back up to Barbara in the same lap. And nope, I think that time she did do it. Oh my word! Oh! Let's see, what does Kawakuta see here? I don't know, she does actually move right into him a little bit there. Yeah, no, she keeps turning right too. So, I think Barbara tried to spin him, but also at the same time he was also turning across her. Again. Cue like 5 seconds of him wildly spinning out of control, and then meeting the back of Francesca's F8. And I think taking them both out. Because, yeah, she's stuck in the sand here. And, Kawakuta just backed it into the wall at several miles an hour. What does Paige see? A fucking mess. That's what he sees. Oh my god! The thunk on that. "105-ish miles an hour into the back of Francesca's F8. Followed by very hefty whack into that wall. Only 40 miles an hour, but that's enough to knock basically every part of his car out of shape. He's got both right side suspensions damaged and a lot of aero damage. And that is unsurprisingly a DNF, and because that's a two-car crash that's left two DNF'd cars on the race circuit, that's a red flag, which will give Dominic DePrisco the victory for Pacific Spirit. His teammate will finish on the podium with him. And, yeah, that... ugly. Very ugly. Once more with the camera on Fidanzi, she's being overtaken by Harris going into this corner. Yikes. So we got all these debuting cars, and none of them really got a chance to actually test their capabilities, because the race got called a lap and a half early because somebody can't look in their fucking mirrors. Even if the best of his car did get totaled for good, but somehow he claims he can fix it. And based on the fact that he was able to show up to the photo shoot at the end of the episode on Friday evening with a somewhat scratched, but a car he was able to drive here, I guess it's still in working condition. So, yeah. On to the next race with hopefully a little bit less stupidity. The fourth round takes us from 760 class to 640 class at a twilight-soaking Laguna Seca for 4 laps. And we're on board with one of the drivers that everyone just kind of forgets about, Baxter Brooks, in here, this hideous BRZ. It wouldn't look too bad if the wheels made sense, but this dude's got maximum negative camber, and the car's slammed. So honestly, I wonder this thing even drives in a straight line. He's putting in the work with it though. He's already looking at P12 on Kochia, and a different car, basically sister car to him. They make some contact getting into the corkscrew, and Sane stays ahead for the moment. But eventually Brooks will sneak on the outside and claim P12. What the? P12. Gets ahead of Kaminaga with equal amounts of contact as those two are pitting. I can only presume they hit each other in the corkscrew or something like that. Brooks is now catching up to his girlfriend Skyler in the other GR86 in this event, and passes by with no delays. Oh my gosh. Brooks' driving style, as you've already seen a couple of times throughout this race, more or less involves him just sticking his fender somewhere and either forcing his opponents to give him the lane, or he'll just move them a lane or two over and make the place up that way. He wouldn't necessarily try to wreck somebody for a place, but he is going to you know, he's gonna make some space for himself, whether or not there was any there to begin with. He invites himself in, more or less. I still don't know how he's even taking these corners with like even a shred of car control or traction. The car looks like it's driving normally, which doesn't make much sense to me considering he's got maximum camber, minimum ride height, and God knows how soft the dampers on that thing are. The car's suspension probably looks more like the bag of chips I had earlier with my lunch, more so than it does the suspension kit, but somehow the car still has enough lateral grip to make these turns. Here we go. Well, mind you, he was actually pretty much alongside there, so he would have been warranted space no matter what. Oh, curb pop. Uh-oh. Oh, goodbye. Well, not as dramatic as the last crash that we saw in the previous race. Much slower speed due to the cars. The smallest amount of contact was instigated by Thrasher there. And you see that curb there that's kind of behind the speedometer? Those are not good at this track, those sausage curbs. They're especially not good when your car has 6 degrees of negative front camber. Die. He realizes last second and hits the brake, but it is too late. That is both front suspension parts broken, and that is a DNF for Baxter Brooks. And I believe it may also be a total on that car. So, yikes. Hammerhead has toasted an enemy right here. Barely even moved him. I suppose that happens when you're driving a truck, huh? And he's gone. So yeah, another DNF. 2 races in a row. That ends the race right there, because that car is not in a safe location. It is stuck only a few feet off the racetrack, if even that. We can see, you know, from this angle that somebody else loses control out of this turn. Like if, say, Brianna Tao were about to spin out here, she could slide straight into him while he's trying to exit his vehicle, and then suddenly we've got manslaughter on our hands. We'd rather not have that, but a lap and a half isn't really enough time to warrant a restart, because we need to finish the lap we're on, and we're not going to do a one lap restart because we're not NASCAR. So that awards my dad with the victory, and Melissa Weiss and Thrasher with podium finishes. I believe this is Thrasher's second podium of the episode. I believe. Yeah. He podiumed in the first round. He got 6th in the third one. I don't think he was at Lago Maggiore. And he grabs himself another podium at his home track. And I guess we'll just move on to the final race. And we are green for the roulette race. We head to the forbidden high-speed ring. High-speed ring here for the final race of episode 63. And the crowd-pleasing, super-tuned pickup truck returns, this time as the POV driver. As, you need to see exactly what such a vehicle is capable of on a high-speed circuit like this. And also, the Tsubaki sisters are here as well. Oh, that was fun to do. I just ran it 3 wide with 2 other cars. That's how 3 wide works. Take those places, thank you very much. Dom DePrisco is gone. No, he isn't. Dedrick Schwartz is right there. I'm fucking blind. It is a melee in the midfield, which, when isn't it? And this truck is... What the fuck? How many places was that? Okay, yeah, crowd pleaser's right, as she almost gets turned by who the... what? Saki. There we go. Her name is kind of confusing. Saki Tsubaki. That's... who the fuck came up with that? Anyway, yeah, she turns across Saki there, it nearly spins out. Luckily this truck is all-wheel drive. And she apparently has no choice but to take the outside of this turn, which sends her from P13 to P7, P6 by the time you cross the stripe. So Riho just gained 7 places in one turn. She's gonna lose 2 of them again, because Ryan Stevens is a class above and Michael Krieger's got a really good top speed, but no downforce. She may get 7th back from the 3.0, and she will. Shiro Sasaki goes down the inside of the the CSL as well, so Krieger just got absolutely mugged. Oh, for a second I thought we were going to go 3 wide there. No. Stevens pulled ahead just in time for that. Oh, please shift, Schwartz. He was in with a chance to overtake the Aventador if he didn't, you know, do that. I never realized just how barren Stevens' car is. He's got Hot Wheels, Firestone, and... what the fuck? He's got, like, 4 sponsors. One of them is Gran Turismo itself, and the other one is Ford themselves. He has Hot Wheels and Firestone. There's no sponsor on the back or front bumpers. So it seems this truck is set up for maximum low-end torque. It doesn't have much in 6th gear though. It just stalls out around 170. Admittedly, I don't really know if the pickup truck needs to be going any fucking faster than 170, so fair enough. Stevens forgets what an Apex is. Oh, look at that, the sisters are running 12th, 13th. They've not had a great showing here. As they're currently 3, 4, 5th and 6th in class. They're ahead of Natsuki, and that's it. Thrasher, what the fuck happened to you? Hang on. You got whacked into turn 2 by who? Well, I got a bit careless and promptly thwacked into Thrasher. Her bulky Camaro took no damage, but Thrasher's F50 definitely did. Man! No, no. There we go. I've gone too far. As we once again look at the oddity that is that Tundra on the outside lane. That explains how she did that. I was really confused by that. I'm just sitting here minding my own, taking the corner a little bit weird on the curb there. I don't know why I was doing that. And then I just see that in my mirror, and then goodbye. Now it makes sense. What the hell? What the? Look at my speedometer here. Yeah, 160, 165. They just lose 20 miles an hour and... What the fuck, Gran Turismo? You want to explain that to me? That's an imposing image. I don't know what it is. She's running the high lane at every single one of these turns. Does she know how apexes work? Okay, apparently she kind of does. So, she knows how you're supposed to make a turn, and she just elects to not do it that way, ever. It's fucking bizarre. And like, it's working. She's wheeling this truck up towards the class and overall leader. She just overtook a Lamborghini like it wasn't moving. Is this thing in the wrong category? No, because its top speed is terrible. That's what balances it out. Riho's just wrestling this thing like a son of a bitch and getting way more out of it than there should be in it in the first place. Schwartz, for the love of Christ, please keep this monstrosity behind you. Like, seriously, do not lose to a pickup truck. You ran an 11.2 earlier to her 12.4. And we got lap traffic ahead. Jake Downey is way in the back. Holy shit. Do you have an engine problem there? Look at his throttle. You can't get the top... Okay, never mind, just fixed it. Well, he's mere existence, just gained through top of like 2 seconds on Schwartz. You have a Toyota Tundra and a Porsche 991 battling for the lead. Only in the fucking Challenge Series could you possibly find this. They're exchanging some doors there. Schwartz isn't exactly a cautious driver. He'll give you a bumper or two if he has to. And obviously nobody wants to finish behind this thing. But right now, Riho Futaba isn't giving him the choice. Oh, she's out of control though. Not just giving an advantage to Schwartz. Who's just tearing it up on the inside. Oh, nearly turns her. I think she saw it coming though and was able to react and correct the truck. I think Riho just tried blocking Schwartz there, but snapped on the steering input. No one said driving a truck like this was going to be easy. She's having to wheel this thing out of every low-speed turn. The two of them on the track. But my brain cannot process this. Also, I think Schwartz hit her. I think Schwartz hit her again. Yeah. It was the slightest contact, but it was enough for Rio to put on the hazards, like, hey, yo, what? Trust me, he's in a little dinky Porsche, and your car weighs nearly 2 tons. I don't really think he's going to be able to do much to you with his bumper. He's going to have to do it with his downforce, and, you know, being a world-class supercar and not a pickup truck with the GT500 engine in it. Just saying. As we are looking at what will be 2 to go for the leaders, but I don't know if it'll be 2 to go for anybody else. As Dominic DeFrisco leads a 4-car train through T1 in the background. The idea of a turbocharged pickup truck just seems obscene to me. I know why it's turbocharged, but it still just seems weird. It can't just be me, right? Oh, they got a lap car on the bottom. Can Schwartz navigate? No, he didn't know what lane Futaba was in. So he's gonna lose it another 2 seconds to a lap car. Lap traffic is gonna be the reason Dedrick Schwartz loses this fucking race. Because Futaba is home free. For the moment. Actually, not really. We have more lap traffic. We have the rest of the 640 class up ahead. The race is over for everybody else but these two. Dom, myself, and the rest of us couldn't cross in time as Schwartz is caught up behind him more lapped cars who take his lane away. And that just hit him incredibly hard. So, yeah, he's still not ahead of Natsuki yet, because he had to go through the whole of the S section with her in his way. So, I cannot comprehend, let alone believe that I'm saying this. On the week that she debuts, Rio Futaba is going to head to the last turn at High Speed Ring in a 680 class Toyota Tundra. Nico Mizoda gets out of the way as she wins the roulette race. Fucking what did we just watch, ladies and gentlemen? Dedrick Schwartz still gets second place. Dom wins the 720 class, finishing third. Thrasher didn't really have the best day. He still gets 7th, but he's in a 760 class car. Michael Krieger wins the 680 category, and I think it was Brianna... No, Natsuki won the 640 category, that RX-7 640. Or Salady is 680, I think. I cannot. I am unable to can at the moment. I don't... A fucking pickup truck just